All right. Good evening, everybody. We are live tonight here on Speedgaming number 4. We are going to have a match for Chrono Trigger Jets of Time. It's a randomizer based, of course, on Chrono Trigger. This is the Alpha Door Derby tournament as part of Speedgaming Live, and tonight we are going to watch Nate go against Beauty and Discovery. My name's Lord Batsy, and Leon is here with me on comms.
Hi, yeah, thanks for the intro, Batsy. I'm Leon Kennedy 411, and it's a joy, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be here. Thank you so much. I'm very, very excited for this next round. Last match of this round before we go on to next week.
Yes, this is the last match of round 2, so the winner of this match is going to go straight forward into the final 8, which is where we upgrade the flags a little bit, or downgrade, depending on your point of view. And meanwhile, the loser, this is a double elimination tournament, so the loser will still be alive, and they will go down to the bottom bracket. Actually, it's pretty interesting. The winner of this match is gonna face me, and the loser's gonna face Leon.
I think it's me.
Yep. So, you know, I jokingly ask if you have any preferences as to which way this goes, but honestly, these guys are both pretty good runners. So,
Just want good races. That's what I'm into.
Yeah, but no, I think this is gonna be a great race. We got Nate. Nate is a longtime member of the community at this point. He has gotten very good over the years. We've got Beauty and Discovery, who was actually my mentor in our last Gato Cup beginners. My mentee, I was the mentor, sorry, in our last Gato Cup race.
That's so cool. I didn't know it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And, you know, so, you know, not to like toot my own horn too much, I do think he's pretty good. I think he's gonna get even better. So we're gonna see how this goes.
Sweet. Yeah, for those who don't know, just real quick before we actually start, that's a great thing that I just became aware of recently. There's a cool like mentorship program thing that I haven't done, and I think is really cool and would love to do and have other people learn about it more.
Yes, that is called the Gato Cup. And that is run chiefly by One Free Fits over on the Jets of Time Discord. Let me bring like the chat back up. There we go. See, it's as I'm like forgetting the command. Oh, there it is. It's totally written right there. Yeah, there we go.
Bracket. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Are we off?
Yeah, here we go. We are off. All
Luca
right.
Magus.
Luca Magus. So this is the like glass cannon start, the very much magical prowess, less physical prowess, although since Magus is a late game character, he does start with a late-ish game weapon, and hits a little harder than the rest at the start.
So yeah, for those people who are maybe joining in for the first time or catching this or still don't know a lot about it, this Jets of Time randomizer starts with random characters of the main 7 there. You start with 2, and then you unlock more in a couple of different kind of key spots throughout the game as you go on. And these first 2 locations that we have access to, or eras I should say, is 680 and 1080. So we're going to see our players going around here. A lot of similar things at the beginning, but a lot of people do them in slightly different orders. Checking for tabs, looking at shops, and then looking for their first couple checks.
Nate, take a note of that tab invest there down in Pori.
Full chests here in Fiona's. And like this, at the very instant, right, we already see a little divergence here. Everyone's got a slightly different route in how they do their first couple of things here.
Yeah, absolutely. Beauty's gonna peek Snail Stop right now, and that's the gate key. Oh, this is one of the times when you're happy you peeked Snail Stop early. You know, players are sort of divided on whether to go early and get the item or not. And I mean, honestly, it just depends on what's there. So it's kind of a 50-50, but that was a great move there. Everybody loves to see the gate key.
So why would a player, Beauty, Batsy, why would a player not spend the money to buy that like very important key item right off the bat?
Well, I would say that it would depend on, it would depend a lot on that player's opening loop. I tend to buy my items pretty aggressively, for example, so I might not save that much money. And sometimes now obviously when it's the gate key, whether you saved the money or not, you're like, oh, I want that right now. That makes sense. It's just like, what are the odds that it's the gate key? Maybe it's just Robo's ribbon and we don't got the we don't have Robo. Maybe it's just a sword piece. So it's really like people are gambling on whether that's gonna be an item they want right away or not, more than I think that anyone who with the buying power would probably grab the gate key right then, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. And again, the gate key is one of those like really important key items because it opens up a whole new other eras to explore. The prehistoric era, which gives you a couple places to look for things, and the kind of the Zeal era, 12,000 BC, where there's one dungeon you can do there too. So
yes, and it also unlocks End of Time, which unlocks magic for the characters that need to learn it from Specchio. That's Chrono, Luca, Marl, and Frog. All right, Nate just did the Guardia Forest grind.
Yeah, a couple different spaces here for like early grinding.
Yeah.
And there's the forest. There's some people go to the shop in Medea. Some people go if you've got Vegas. Sometimes people go for that Denadoro fight.
Yeah, I would say that the most popular two are the Guardia Forest grind and the Denadoro fight. And the Denadoro fight is a little harder, but is a little more efficient if you can get through the battle efficiently enough. And then if you can't, that's always the line, right? If you can't, Guardia Forest is quite a safe play for those tech points. You're gonna end up with about the same amount, maybe 2 fewer. You're not gonna get fewer techs because of which of those grinds you chose, that's for certain.
And Nate's doing some looting here in another dungeon. Not completing it, not fighting the boss, doesn't have Robo, but some real good loot here in the Sunken Desert. And I think one thing I saw there was a helm. What's the helm for Megas that gives protection? Is it Gloom or Doom?
That's the Gloom helm. The Doom helm is the one he starts with, and the Gloom helm is the good one. So
I got that.
Yeah, we're happy to find that. Yeah, Desert is probably the best treasure that is available right off the start in this randomizer.
Picking up those last couple tabs, really important thing to learn. I think when you're starting out to try to take this randomizer a little more seriously is like know where all those tabs are. Obviously, speed tabs are super important because speed is so important in a randomizer, and with these characters and all the fights, like if you can go first before your enemies, it's huge for multiple reasons. But the magic tabs and the power tabs are all super important too, and those get randomized in this randomizer as well with a certain set amount. Power tabs I think is 1 to 4 and magic's 1 to 3 for standard.
Power is 2 to 4. They can't roll a 1. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Yep.
But magic is 1 to 3. Yeah.
1 to 3. Okay. Looks like Beauty might be done with their initial looting and setup here. Checking this first fight in the cathedral where we'll see our first new character.
Yes. Nate is peeking Lazy Carpenter as well.
Shows a Thomas Pop, which has access. It's a key item that gives you access to another dungeon. Kind of a later dungeon, like in the vanilla game. It's not too hard to run through, but the boss there has got some pretty high HP because it's initially the Rust Tyranno that's there. So definitely a tough start with.
Yeah, that can be a scary one to run into when you're not expecting it. In the randomizer, as you can see, pouring the pop on the grave will unlock Giant's Claw. And the nice thing about Giant's Claw at least, is that you only need these 2 eras that we have available to access it. It is a little higher level than some of the other checks, but, you know, it's 4,000 and a half hit points, maybe, for the boss there. So if you've got good techs, you can do it.
Yeah. And we do see a robo here over on Beauty's side.
Yeah, full of...
That opens up a whole nother thing. So we have Pumice Pop opened, and we've got Desert to check as well now.
Mm-hmm. And the robo with the Luca Mega Start, this is big. That's Team Omega Flare right there, which
Yep.
boy, can that be a pain in the butt to set up. But if you can get it working for you, you will see some very, very lovely damage off of it.
I'd love to see an Omega Flare run. That'd be so cool in a tournament.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny you say that would be so cool in a tournament. I think that if you went back, it's the spring of 21 tournament, I think. And Corn's here in chat today. He might be able to comment upon on being on the other end of an Omega Flare run. No, it was a legendary run.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. But that said, yeah, we can help find that at some point. But yes, everybody loves to see this team. If you can pick up that blue rock, enable that Omega Flare tech. Of course, you're also going to need the 3 correct techs for the triple tech. Only Luca's magic blocked, so that's good.
And it looks like Beauty is going here to check the rest of Cathedral, which
looks like
it's kind of one of these. It's kind of a key early game choice of, do I go back here to see who this character is? It sometimes is an unnecessary check. It sometimes is a super necessary check. It's hard to say until you know who's back there. Sometimes peeking who the character is in Frog's burrow location can be helpful for you to know, like, who's not there just by process of elimination. Yeah, we'll see if Nate does the same thing or not.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't seen if they've opened up the tech menu to see what especially Luca's got coming up, because she's the magic locked character, so she's kind of the most limiting factor of this team. But if she's got good techs, you know, if you get good techs in those first 3 before you unlock them with Specchio, you can be good to go.
Yeah.
So it really depends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if she's got Flare and Fire 2 and even like Mega Bomb or whatever, like sometimes it's just like, I don't care. But they do have the gate key right off the bat, so they don't have to worry about that, which is real nice.
Yeah, I love that. Is true. That is true. All right. Well, and there's laser spin on Robo. That's one of the one of the techs we need, but we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. But we'll see. All right, so Beauty has unlocked that back door. Nate is going to book it.
Okay, we already have a good divergence here. I like seeing a couple different options to play.
Yeah.
And I think it was said, but maybe not, for those listening or watching early, this is also a boss randomizer. So not all seeds do this, but it's what we're doing for the flags for this tournament. So this might not be Yakra in the back. It could be a lot of different things. The spot here for their HP will be pretty low because it is like one of the earliest, easiest bosses. But you could find something like a Rust Tyranno back here with a lot more HP than Yakra did. Or something hard, like maybe a Dalton or a Golem could be kind of rough right off the bat. But we're going to find out what it is.
Yep. Nate is understandably heading straight through that gate with the gate key, looping through the Mystic Mountains and then jumping back in to go to the end of time. The Chancellor's turning into Flea.
Which version of Flea?
Ah, yes, that's the question.
They are different. So why don't you, for those who might not know, can you explain what the difference is between Flea and Flea Plus? Can you do that?
Well, basically the difference is that Flea Plus doesn't have any special defenses, including status, as Beauty just demonstrated for us very nicely. Flea Plus is susceptible to a lot of different status attacks. Now, Sleep in this case, Flea will still wake up when hit, but by using Hypno Wave, you can make sure that Flea's not going to do anything until you're ready.
Kind of like
So
almost
this is-
unlocking in a way with the Hypno Wave.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. You know, if Flea's gonna do his counterattack, he can still do that. But the, you know, somewhat good news is this is Cathedral, and even in back of Cathedral, this boss isn't very powerful either in terms of how it hits. So, you know, we're about to get hit by the stair, and, you know, normally this would be like time to have a heart attack, but yeah, you know, he's okay.
Pretty close to killing him here, I think. At least not far off.
Yeah, there we, here we come with another Hypno Wave.
Okay, and Nate is doing a different character check. And I might have missed it, but did they even check what burrow was? Did I miss that?
I don't think that Nate has looked in the burrow. My guess would be that Nate is wanting to maybe swap out the party a little bit, especially with that end of time open. If this character, well, okay, this by virtue of opening the burrow, you almost always have go mode, and so it's not often done, but it can be done. And
I also just want to point out that Nate got a really hard skip there. Like, that's just, it looked, if you don't know about it, it's like, oh, he just walked up a ladder, but like very hard skip to get right one.
Yes, that is a pixel perfect skip. It's tricky. I think we may have gotten an interesting prono name over on Beauty's side. We'll see if he's gonna come into the party. Okay. Nate coming in with Frog and Luca, importantly, to Specchio, so we're gonna uncap their magic.
And now Beauty's about to do the same thing with Chrono and Luca.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe also going back to Dactyl, I don't know.
Possibly.
Awesome. Everybody think magic or else this won't work.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you have to think magic.
Oh, I'm all in just making a decent point there that I just realized. Check the new in 65 million BC to see if it's the right rock. There's one in the back of Labaloo Village?
Laruba Ruins, yes.
Laruba.
Yes, the new is back there.
It's the one that can change people's names.
Yes.
So that is one of the spots for rocks.
Yes, that new will have a rock. The rock locations are all their vanilla locations, but the rocks themselves are shuffled.
Yes. Yeah, it's something, well, correct me now, the next set for top 8, is that also gear rando, too?
Yes,
So
when we get to top 8 flags, yes,
yeah.
the rocks can have random effects, so they can be as good as, you know, an extra sunshades on a rock.
Yeah,
okay.
There's some cool stuff on it sometimes. So that can be a real easy one. That might forget sometimes that you can just really quickly run into that village and check one.
Indeed. So it's always worth it, especially if gear rando's on. And we will start to see that as we get into the top 8. And one of the other things on in the top 8 is the hard items and the healing item rando. Healing item rando, I think it has slightly higher chances to be mean to you, which is probably somewhat fair because gear rando is the other way. But especially with it being harder to find treasure, you know, things like that become very valuable. All right.
Yeah. So Nate's doing a little grind here, right? So
yes, he just learned Fire Tackle, which means we've got Fire 2 on Luca's list and Robo Tackle for Robo there.
So opposed to other grind spots, when you get like early gate key here, what do you think is a normal or Like, what would you want to get to here if you're leveling up in rep type?
Oh, I mean that really depends.
Yeah, on what?
I think that it would depend mostly on getting enough power. So, you could grind to a specific level if you know that you're going to be strong at that level. Some people will grind just to get their damage up to a certain number.
Sure. Yep.
So, because I'm sure Nate could clear this right now. He doesn't need to grind to clear it, but it really just depends on how comfortable you are, like how much you want to be, powering through the checks that are in front of you and stuff like that. Ultimately, what you want to be doing in the randomizer, right, is going through the checks quickly. So whatever gets you there, if that's more levels, maybe depending on your setup, especially if you've got like some sort of tech damage rando on, which means that the ones that do more damage are shuffled. It just depends where you need to go and what you're trying to do. But you need to not be, you don't want to be dragging, and if you feel like you're not strong enough, you might want to stop and grind a bit.
Yeah, sometimes you just go through and do that a little bit when you gain magic, or like Heckram's Cave can be a good, decent spot for that as well, because you get decent tech points. Yeah. Got Frog over here as well on Beauty's side, as well as got off those skips as well. Again, just like pointing those out, because they're cool when you get them right.
They are. Those two Reptite, or not Reptite, Dactylness skips are tricky.
And it looks like Beauty is doing maybe Heckram's here. Like maybe doing a different route. So different thoughts. And sticking with, looks like Chrono instead of Magus. So not convinced that this will necessarily be their end game teams, but that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, we'll see. They haven't really been holding on the tech menus very long. I don't know what Chrono's getting. If Chrono's getting confused, then I completely understand keeping him, for example.
We got Fire Zone, we got a triple tech.
Yeah, okay. And we got,
cool.
I mean, both teams do have access to Fire Tackle, which is good enough to be like kind of your end game. I'm punching Lavos with this tech if you need it to be. Max Cyclone will clear the elevator in the Black Omen. It's not often done, but if you've got the setup, it'll do it.
Yeah. It's like a 4th or 5th tier like option, but if it's there, it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Nate's checking the bridge. So something that's cool about this check, there's a key item at the bridge, but you can talk to the chef and then see what it is. And if you're like, this isn't important right now, you can soft reset out of it. Which was a cool thing to learn about as well. And she's like, oh yeah, that's easy.
Yep, and even, if you need it later, you can go get it. Doesn't take too much longer.
About to see what that is right here on Nate's screen.
All right, so that's the bent sword. It hasn't reset yet.
That might be appealing for a couple of reasons. One is we already have Frog, and so that's 2 of 3 pieces. The other is this isn't going to probably be super hard because he leveled up a bit, and sometimes the hard gives good loot. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, he could be banking on for sure that, like, okay, so Robo and Magus, you've got all of your magic unlocked. You've already got, that Magus is going to learn powerful stuff eventually. You've got Fire Tackle, so it means that you can pretty much wipe the screen in that go mode with Fire 2. And you could use a lot of physical damage on the Magus boss if you don't have the magical means to take advantage of. So
outside of just learning that this was the bent sword or bent hilt, I can't remember which one was which. What I love is that we're 22 minutes into this seed, and the only other items that had been checked was the 2 ones at the beginning, was Snail Shop and Carpenter's Tools. And that's kind of cool. It's like a wide open option right now.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of stuff could be just about anywhere. We haven't seen Passage to the Future yet, but I'm sure we will.
Yeah. And sometimes you're 20 minutes in and you already got 4 different key items,
Yeah, for sure. And in this case, with that early gate key, I understand why people were off doing extracurricular activities. That, that's one of the things that can make it be this way. But it's fun because now they're going to be quite powerful going forward if they play it right.
Yeah. Yeah. We got 2 different bosses about to happen at the same time here on 2 different screens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Nizbil 2 over on the right on Beauty's screen. I'm going to want magical damage against Nizbil 2, which is at least available. Nate's got Terra Mutant, which also will want magical damage. Luckily, he's got that too. Dark Bomb is going to do okay. Fire 2 is going to do okay.
Yep. And something about Nizbil is you don't, contrary to how you might have played it in vanilla, you don't have to use lightning damage to get through this guy. You can just use other magic.
Correct. The lightning damage will put either Nizbil boss into their shock state, and they'll do, different things based on the shock state. Nizbil 2's defense does go down when you shock him, but you don't need to. The magic defense is always just... You can take advantage of it.
Yep. Quick takedown of Terra Mutant by Nate.
Very nice. Getting that bromide.
Couple really good tabs, which is great.
Mm-hmm. It is one of each in Jets of Time, just a magic tab in vanilla. But since here it has a speed tab, I think it's always worth it.
Yeah. And then one thing we'll see is sometimes, this can be different every race, different runners, is when do we use our tabs? There can be theories of wait, do it till you're sure this is the team you've got. Other theory could be just like if you're confident, use half of them, use them all right away. Just see where you're at.
For sure.
People usually wait, but not always.
Yeah, it depends. I think I got a little bit, blocked off by that the other day when I was racing because Chrono didn't get confused and he got all my power tabs, so it really depends. I'm often willing to bet that he's going to get confused, and hey, sometimes I pay for it, and then sometimes you want to wait until you've checked future and you've unlocked,
It can be hard if you're waiting for a single target magic move or a single target physical move, and you're like, well, I'm gonna get it soon, but you might not. It might be your last tech for Hila, Chrono, or Uzi, whoever it is. You can be like, just slapping your head.
Sure. All right. Nate coming down into the desert to fight Masa and Mune as the boss here.
And Beauty over there got
nice.
Robo Ribbon from Hecarim's Cave, which immediately equipped onto Robo there.
Hey, if you're using Robo, it's not the worst thing you can see.
Yeah, it's one of those key things where it's like, well, I don't need this to progress. It doesn't help me get into a go mode, but if you're for sure running them, it can feel real nice.
For sure. It's an equipable accessory in Jets as opposed to vanilla, but it does give Robo the extra 3 points of speed, the 10 magic defense, and it gives him, I believe Robo's the one with the Sunshades effect and shield.
It's a lot. It's a lot on one.
It's a lot. And Robo is one of the slowest characters, starting in Jets with an 8, in vanilla with a 6.
Yeah.
So those extra 3 points of speed never go amiss.
Speed,
Super clean boss.
It's true. Speed is king. It's you're trying to go fast, but it's hard to understate how important adding speed onto characters is. in this type of run.
Yeah, it's especially, it's hard to demonstrate unless you get it side by side, but it's when we say speed is king, it's really like all about the turn economy almost. You need to be getting more of them than the enemies, and if you're slow, it will add up. You got to be real careful. I'm willing to run like one character that I consider quote unquote slow against the final boss, but that's about it. Like everybody else has to be at least average, which is, my arbitrary, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like if you're too slow, they'll get you.
Did Nate just finish Desert, leave Robo, but then go up the mountain and not go to the future?
Yeah, he didn't pick up the item. He came
I wonder
right.
if that's just, like, is that trying to optimize the timing of switching eras?
I think that's
much as possible. Is that what you're saving? 15 seconds or something?
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going on here. Unless Desert is the sword piece, this is probably something new at least. So there's also a speed tab up here. He is running both Luca and Robo, so that won't go amiss.
I bet Ian just put in the chat, I would 100% forget to go back. I would too. Like, maybe that's just like maybe a pro runner strat thing that I'm just not used to, but like I would immediately go to the 1080, check Robo, and then I'd probably go back to 600 to be like, oh, I haven't done Denadoro or Thomas Pop yet. But like that makes sense. Like that, if it saves you 15 seconds, it saves you 15 seconds. Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you start thinking about. Hopefully, it's one of those. Hopefully, if you're running and not panicking, you think about.
Yes. That is a whole. I mean, that's true in any. We're totally doing this because we love this game. We think it's fun, and there's some competitiveness to it too. And maybe you're taking it more competitively than others, but when you're in a competitive nature versus just doing it for fun, sometimes you forget things. Just how it goes. And Nate also just obviously, maybe people maybe watching for a first time or still learning. There's a million skips here in Denadoro, and it's one of the most rewarding things to get done well once you learn it. It's such a long dungeon if you do every single fight, and it's so much faster if you know them all.
Yeah, you can see how fast Nate's done it. I think he's gotten all the skips. All right, he's going to pick up the rock here.
Yep.
Also note that treasure chest.
Rock. It's a
gold rock. Okay. Not what we're looking for necessarily with that party.
I'd love to know in chat, anyone else, if you have the team set up and it's ready to go, what rock combo do you like the best? You have to choose one of the rock combos. Is it Girl Power Team White? Is it this one with Omega Flare? Is it Grand? Not Grand Leon.
Grand Dream. Grand Dream is the gold rock. Yeah.
Like, they're all kind of cool. They don't always work, but they're all pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. I know I personally probably black or blue if I've got the setup. I just want to do the damage.
Yeah. As a kid, it was definitely this team. Like Omega Flare was just so cool.
Right, fighting the twins, but we've seen Fire Tackle do over 1,000 HP, which is what they have. So pretty confident Nate's gonna one-shot this. Beauty's going down into Giant's Claw. That's been open since the beginning, so I completely understand, kind of wondering what it might lead to. No guarantees, but the things that are open sooner always have a greater chance of leading to more things or, having a thread to them. So it's definitely understandable when people check stuff like that.
Yakra.
Yeah. I think
1700. Yeah, we like 1700.
Nice.
Ooh, and I just saw a slasher on Beauty's screen for Chrono, which is a great sword, but primarily because it gives you +2 speed.
Yeah. It's
could've chucked another rock there.
mid-tier in power. Yes, there's a the rock was skipped.
Yeah, they just gave up. We're not doing rocks for beauty.
Mm-hmm. But with this team, I suppose you don't need them, and we'll hope for a fire zone.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's one thing I'm certainly not like super proficient in, but is the single area text, like a fire zone or a max life one, of positioning of where your lead character is. Because it only matters in certain fights, but knowing when it does is like a pivotal skill if you want to be like top, like knowing what to do, you know?
For sure. I think that we might have on our Jets of Time wiki somewhere a list of some of the spots for Robo to be standing if you're using any of those area bomb and involved text. I think we do have that.
I didn't know if I had looked through that. That's awesome. The one that I got familiar with that was super helpful to learn about was Magus's black hole, just because that's the position.
Yes, black hole is different. So we have the Moonstone over on Nate's side. So that's unfortunately kind of a dud right now. You need to have finished the Prism Shard quest to do the Moonstone at all, and you need access to future. There's like 3 things Nate needs before he can even look at that. So that is not super helpful right now.
It's probably people's least favorite key item, but I'm making a generalization for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, it has so many requirements to turn in that I think people, don't often get to it just because why would you? But I think that if you do get to the point where you can turn it in, it's very quick. So it's nice in that regard. Like, once you're actually set up, it takes like a couple minutes. All right.
Nate's about to do another check that I would have forgotten about. Like, I would have gone up to Denadoro and just been like, I did that already, didn't I? Nope, it's there.
Okay, we got Beauty down here looking at North Cape Magus as the boss. You need to watch out for him a little bit because he will spam his AoE magic, especially after he goes to about 50% HP. He'll counterattack you with every hit you put on him. And those hits add up, especially since he is quick. But hopefully those Fire Sword 2s are gonna do it in, I think probably about 3 of those should do it. We'll see. See if I'm counting right.
I see a new. Oh, we're not fighting the new.
Yes, Nate has retrieved the hero medal from the desert check, seeing that it's Ayla down here in the burrow, and opening up the treasure chest to get another key item.
So Nate's got a jerky!
Jerky! Oh, well, again, not progression, but
we'll just have to see how hungry Nate is.
He can at least turn that in and see what it is. It is guaranteed to be something high tier.
Yep. I have mixed feelings about jerky. Not that because it's like, it's not a progression thing. Like sometimes you don't like seeing it, but it just the amount of times that I'm like, you know what? I need a good item. Like I'm a little behind. I'm gonna check it real quick, and then it's for some character that I never get. It just seems like it happens to me a lot.
That's the risk. It's always a rainbow when you don't have chrono. Okay. Ooh, well. Okay. Luckily, it's a Tabin suit, and that is Luca's ultimate armor. It has 3 points of speed built in for her. Nobody is going to be complaining about finding that.
That was the right choice, for sure.
For sure. Beauty
I might not have checked
Ruby
it out.
Knife.
I should have.
Yes, from Giant's Claw. It's the ruby knife down there, so that gives BeautyInDiscovery 2 pieces of Tyrannolair Go mode, as well as the 2 pieces of Magus's Castle Go mode, which is Frog and the Broken Sword. The 3 items needed for Black Omen, which is the Pendant, Clone, and Chrono Trigger, are nowhere to be seen so far.
Interesting. So certainly not impossible, but much less likely that we're going to see a Black Omen Go mode here. But
I'm thinking that the others might be in front of it, but as was just pointed out in chat, it could be that the pendant or something is on Mount Woe, which is open because of the gate key, and that would open up the rest of the game.
So we're both doing checks here that we've seen already on, you know, the corresponding screens here. But both of them might be going through this faster than we saw on the other screen because they're a little bit higher here.
Yeah, for sure. And then we know Beauty, if he finishes this, is going to pick up Hero Medal. And Nate will be picking up Robo's Ribbon from Hecarim Cave, I believe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't write the check in chat there as well. That's right. No one's actually completed Reptite, so that could be it too. That's right. That's right. I kind of just forgot because Nate was in there for a while, but they didn't actually finish it. And that's pretty quick. That's a real quick one. So
it's true. You know, I understand maybe he wanted to just level and go. But you know, he did have fire too, so it's not like you can't do the check about as fast as you need to.
Another cool little skip there that he just did with the bats. That was one I learned about pretty recently. Those bats can be annoying, especially because they're so fast.
They're quite fast.
If you want to run away from them, it's like they often get before they get attacked.
Yeah, it's nice when you can dodge them, but.
And there's this pendant chest here that Nate just ran by. I know sometimes people wait to do Hecarim because they like to get pendant first because you can dip in and get that chest, but nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I know that that's a thing people say. It's probably not. I'm just going to give my opinion. Those chests can have good loot in them. They can also have very middling loot, and yes. Given the need for tech points sometimes very quickly, I don't think that's a good reason to put it off. I mean, if you can, like if it's on the table, sure, but
we just saw a great example here of what was it, double bomb that we got with Robo and a close area attack against Nizbel, which took him out in two hits.
Yep, double bomb in the darkness did it. There's that hero medal for Beauty.
Yep. Nate's about to get that ribbon. So now, see, where do we go next?
And then they're gonna have to pick,
I would guess. My guess would be do Reptite just because it's faster. Would be my guess, but.
Yeah. Now, whoever's got that Tabin suit might actually be, if they want to jump to Mount Woe instead.
Yep, for sure.
That's set up with the speed tabs and the Tabin suit. You can definitely get Luca fast enough to wipe the encounters up there for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Beauty just did a soft reset on seeing that it was jerky. Did they get to keep the jerky because of that soft reset, or no? I don't think so. I
would think no. If they didn't, if they reset out of it, they would not have kept that item.
Okay.
Which is interesting. You know, I know nobody wants to see it, but
we were just talking about that.
Know, yeah, this is this isn't Scene and Bridge where you have to like spend several minutes and then get the jerky. It's like already in hand, and I mean, once it's in hand, like, what are you gonna do? Like, I feel like you may as well turn it in. Yeah. Nate also hitting up Giant's Claw, which is where the ruby knife was.
Yeah, Aku's saying we're gonna leave it marked just so we know that the hero medal was like turned in, quote unquote, for it. But when we get to the, I'm assuming at some point the breakdown, like post, if anyone wants to interview after this, just the fact that Beauty didn't turn in the jerky for a Taban suit, like that That might be significant. We don't know.
It's true. That's something that people might regret. Yeah.
Yeah, same question in chat, just asking about
Mhm.
like why reset? It's because you don't know what it's gonna be. It might be something completely useless, and it takes time, but it doesn't take that long. So,
And yeah, the jerky was in the chest in the burrow behind the hero medal, and it's a Tabin suit.
Although you say, you could argue it's a time save, but in this case, it's definitely not going to be a time save to not check it.
It's totally worth it to get it. But you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No, as we discussed before, it's it's one thing to have to do a check before you have it, like the bridge or something, but if you've already done the check, you may as well take it. But yeah, once again, we skip the rock in Giant's Claw, which is sad because Nate is here running Team Blue Rock.
I know.
And we don't know if we could have a Mega Flare. Fighting a rubble, hoping for a...
It's hard to say if it's like, is it just because like you don't want to use it, or is it because you're in the mode,
Okay.
you're in the zone?
Sorry, I actually misspoke. He did check. It was the White Rock.
Okay,
So,
I didn't.
My apologies, but that is still disappointing because who doesn't want a Mega Flare? Killed the rubble though. Getting those tech points. The rubbles are dropping amulets, and there's flare.
And now I just saw that.
That's what he wanted. Ruby armor, beautiful. That's endgame armor.
Yes, I think I've been watching that specific chest that he just opened for the ruby armor. Didn't check that chest, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they missed it.
I think that he did not open that one.
So Nate could still go back and get that one in the prehistoric era if he wanted to.
Yeah, nobody has checked the prehistoric rock yet in Laruba yet.
Yeah.
And then after that, the other two are in go mode, so we won't see them until the end game, if we see them at all.
Yes, that's right. One's up in Zeal and one's Ocean or Black Omen. But if it could be there, and then they could grab it.
Sure.
Would you go out of your way in Zeal to go get it?
If I have a party that might benefit, or if I have someone that might benefit, especially with Gear Rando on, that's when yeah. But yeah, if I get to Zeal with Team Blue Rock and I don't have the Blue Rock or Black Rock or something, I will check it.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty easy to route the books in. It takes you pretty close to the merchant. In Kajar, at least. In Haas is different.
It's true, yeah. I sometimes forget about there's that other merchant in Kajar. Because I never go there, right? That's the first little village.
Oh, in Hasa is the first one, but yes, there is another merchant there. There's another secret room that gives you... Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of out of the way, but I think it's a magic tab and a speed tab, so if you're desperate, there's an extra speed tab there, I think.
Is that the one where you have to do the fire, water, wind thing to open that room? Yeah, that's right. Okay, 2 other bosses killed here at the same time. We know what these are going to be, and it was the last time I was like, oh, where are they going to go next? And we're at the same point. Got the ruby knife.
There's your ruby knife, and here comes this moonstone. So now we are back pretty much even. Both of these runners having done basically the same checks 45 minutes in.
Yeah, what's really cool is, they're almost exactly the same spot. The only difference is the Beauty went and got Chrono.
Yes.
So.
And here goes Nate challenging Mount Woe,
Whoa.
which he's definitely set up to do.
Oh yeah, I feel confident doing well for sure, which is good.
And this is another thing of thinking about, like, and I don't know what the best answer is, and it's obviously dependent on how your current team is, but like, how much fighting do you do in WoW? Like, there's real good experience
Yes.
tech points here, but it's like you can skip a fair amount of things, you can run from a fair amount of things if you really just want to gun for going through the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's the
Yeah,
rebels.
That's the question. Yeah, so first of all, there are rebels on Mount Woe, but unless you are just like insanely desperate for tech points, you probably don't need to fight the rebels. You'll get a lot of tech points from just the like gargoyle fights and stuff that you can blow away really quickly. Yeah, that would be my advice anyway, is to not necessarily take rebels up on Mount Woe unless you are just incredibly desperate. Now, Giant's Claw is another thing, because there's not a lot of resources down there. So if you're going to get a clutch tech off of that thing for the boss, oh yeah, thumbs up. Robo getting shock off a beast here.
There was a run a little bit ago. It was one of the turnarounds, I think, where someone did Giant's Claw first and did a rubble. I think there was speed tabs on the rubbles, and just like immediately went to WoW and just fought out all of them.
For sure. Oh yeah. If you've seen something good on them, you absolutely should fight them.
Which is a good thing to know. Again, if you don't know or are watching and learning that like that, those encounters will have the same drops. So you just you know that that's knowledge you obtain, which is really cool.
Yeah. All right, so we're going up Mount Woe on both sides now. Beauty is, 2 fights behind Nate, not very much. And we're gonna see what's up here. This could be go mode, this could be the pendant, this could be anything of what's left, because we still have Reptile Lair. The pendant has to be sort of soon, because we gotta have progression somewhere, but this doesn't have to be it, so we will see.
We know that Marl is in the future because we've checked all the other characters.
Yes.
So we know that this can't be. Well, I guess it could be Prism Shard if I'm just trying to think of what the options are here because we've only got Bow and Reptite, right?
Yeah, correct. I think so.
So one of these has to be pendant. One of those two has to be pendant, and another one has to be a go mode.
Well, the other could be, it could lead to a go mode.
Or lead, so it could be to go.
It could be something like Prism Shard, where you wouldn't have go mode until you went and plucked Marl out of the future and picked up whatever's on the dang thing. And I'm sure everybody is just hoping for that so much. They would love that so much. No, I think
that's another
I suspect, yeah, we're hoping for a go mode here, but we'll see.
Yeah, the thinking on the fly, and not just like in a personal, normal you yourself run, but like in a race, in a tournament, sometimes your brain churning on what possible options are there left for the checks I have to do and the key items that are left while you're trying to execute your skips and your damage output, and your movement as fast as possible. It's a lot to keep track of.
For certain. And anyone who's not playing with a tracker, we highly recommend it, because it will keep track of which items you've picked up and which checks you've already finished.
Yeah, and it's perfectly acceptable. It's
yeah,
legal.
It's tournament legal. Yeah, ours is ours does not do anything funny. I know some randomizers, it's a little bit controversial, but ours is completely legal. Yeah, these runners, neither of them wants to spend a lot of time grinding on Mount Woe. We're just going.
Yeah, there's a couple good skips in here, and then a couple other just run from fights. Don't forget that magic tab there down in the corner. I've forgotten that one a couple times, and it's super easy to pick up. It's a real quick one. Who is waiting for us atop this mountain?
Yes, we're about to find out. Beauty is going pretty fast behind Nate here.
Both executing real well.
Son of Sun.
Big ol' eyeball.
Nate opening
that.
with Magic Wall, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a real cool. You know you're gonna survive.
Yeah, unless you're super fast, you know you're getting hit by that flare that's coming out from the big guy himself. So now we're just looking for the right flame.
If this gives you the other half of the sword, right? There's often this like debate people have about. We generally know that Magus Castle is a slower go mode if you execute them all well. And sometimes there's that thought of, do you go do another check because it might get you something faster to like Tyranno's Lair.
Right.
But in this case, if this gives you the other half of the sword, Reptite has to be pendant. Is that right?
Yeah, it would have to be pendant or lead to pendant, which means that you know that your one quick check remaining is not the Dreamstone, which is what you need for a fast go mode.
Right. So if it is the sword, it might just be go mode in Magus Castle.
In this case, I think that maybe someone who gambled very well could make up the time, but you would have to do at least both Reptite Lair and the prison sequence in order to unlock the future. So that's where you need to start doing the math on multiple checks, because Magus's Castle will take like 20-ish minutes, maybe longer, but you know, how many checks can you do in the time it takes you to do the front of Magus's Castle? Because you know you're going to have a couple extra.
Yeah. That's where that knowledge of how the progression works in the randomizer is super, super helpful.
All right. Nate's through. A rainbow helm and an elixir. That is lovely treasure. Beauty is through too.
Nice. Caught up almost maybe 5 seconds behind or something. Real quick.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Love this tight race. It's the Grand Leon!
It's the Grand Leon! Oh.
Okay, so we know Pendant's Reptite Lair, but now the real question is, do you switch to Frog when you have Grand Hero Frog?
Well...
Interesting. Some people, you think about that, right? Like, I already invested in my...
I mean, I think that... Yeah, you would think about it. I personally, you know, I would want, like, Ayla or someone to pair him with.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. So Beauty is dropping off that Moonstone, just in case. We can't pick it back up until we go to the future. And Nate is heading into Reptite Lair.
This is another great, like, you know, 20-second time save of thinking about... Unless Nate's about to do it after... Yeah, that could be. That could be. Because you still pop out in 65 million BC. So doing the Moonstone before you jump into the Epoch again is absolutely the right call. Because Moonstone's real fast.
Yeah, you may as well. And with Mount Woe ending up that way, now that we know, okay, well, that didn't get us anywhere, we know that this is leading to the pendant, but also what we know is that the seed is now busted open, and the go modes are kind of a free-for-all. Anything could be anywhere. It's probably going to be slightly faster once you get to the future to find the stuff for Magus or Tyranno versus Black Omen, but now everything's on the table. And we don't know, because... Prism Shard, Moonstone, we don't know.
This is so great. Like, this is such a fun place to be an hour into the run. Like, they all went in different directions and got to the same place, and we bottlenecked in, and now it's opening up again. What a cool way to like do the second half of this run.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, what would I'm trying to think. What do you have a thought on what you would do? Like, I wonder, like, what are the quickest things? You know, obviously you've got Airstone, Genodome, and Sun Palace, but also you know Marl's in the future. You can get really quick, and then you could do King's Trial and Moonstone at like the same time. So like that's a pretty quick 2-in-1. Kind of what I might lean at.
Yeah, if it's me, I think I'm gonna go in the future. I'm gonna go to Aristome probably. That is probably the fastest of the checks. Sun Palace could be fast if you have a lot of damage too, but Aristome also has treasure. I'm greedy, so you know. But I'm gonna do one of those checks, one of those fast checks, and then depending on what that is, if it's Prism Shard, I am absolutely going and grabbing Marl. We're gonna go see what's on it. We're probably gonna turn in that Moonstone. If it's not, then goodness knows, might be go mode, it might not be go mode, so if it's not, I probably don't grab Marl, but we'll see, yeah. And, you know, Mian kind of correcting me in chat that one of the 3 future checks is Prism Shard, and the other 2 are go modes. We do know that. What we don't know is if the go mode item you'll get will be the one that gets you up to actually opening the go mode, depending on which one you do. So it's, yeah.
This Elder Spawn can be a tough one sometimes as well. A little bit more trouble here. I didn't quite 100% follow what the differences were therein, like the combat. But one thing is just that we know that he doesn't have the demand suit on, so that's part of it.
He doesn't have that suit on, and that is not helping against a quick enemy like Elder Spawn. I didn't see earlier. I think Nate was just using Fire Tackle for his damage, which is lovely in that it is single target. Fire Sword 2, which would be Chrono and Luca, that's AoE, so you'll hit the shell if you use that.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Another thing. Yeah. I don't know. Like another thing, just like a skill of all these like kind of like very pocketed things of skills of everything you can think about is the boss spot HPs. You know that like I certainly don't have memorized very well, but if you know that you're close, you can do some of those bigger AoE attacks on an Elder Spawn or a regular Lavo Spawn, because if it kills it, it doesn't matter. You know, or if you're only going to get countered once against Elder Spawn, it can be okay.
Yeah, but that is true. Especially Elder Spawn, the interesting thing is when the Elder Spawn shell counters, it will only single target a character. When the regular Lava Spawn counters, it'll hit everybody. But you can take advantage of that and, you know, maybe protect the person getting counterattacked with shields or barriers, or I forget if it's magic damage or not, but you can play that to your advantage if you need to be hitting the shell. There's that pendant.
And I want to put claps here in chat for Beauty getting out of that fight. They were down to 1 row of like less than 80 HP and knew that they were close and just decided to go for it and killed it. Awesome. That was tight. Running through.
Okay.
Now, do you have more, or does anyone else, I guess, have more or less inclination to save fits when you have Chrono in your party, or do you just forget it when you're in a race?
I think it just depends on the situation. Now, there are some people who will always save him because, you know, it's the right thing to do, or they like drugs, you know, whatever, you know. I'm not judging, I'm one of them. There are people who will never save him, and really it's just kind of, well, you have this chance to do it, so you can look at your seed, you can guess, you know, Nate doesn't have Chrono. He's probably not getting Chrono at this point. That was probably a good call. But if you have Chrono, if you don't have a lot of ethers, you know, I was practicing the other day. I got one of those seeds where there weren't any ethers in the shops, which is always fun.
Yeah.
You know, so I was happy to grab them then. It just depends. So if you need them, if you think you might need them, you may as well.
Is Fritz's shop, remind me, one of the other, like one of the places that always guarantees to have lapises? Is that right? Remember that right?
Yes.
That's what, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fiona's is the other.
Fiona's and lapises. They're Fiona's and Fritz's. Okay. So that's significant too. Like, a couple of seeds, if you don't have AoE heal, that can be a big thing to grab.
Mm-hmm.
Big hands here on the bridge.
Yeah, we got Giga Gaia.
But this will be a piece of cake for Nate, I'm sure.
For sure.
Yeah, phone reminding us in chat. It's like, remember that, 45 minutes ago, those extra couple of grind spots in the Reptite lair might be helping out Nate here more than we realize.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's sure not behind because of it. Power can really help.
At the end of Giga? Nope, not quite.
Not quite, yeah. There we go.
Okay, now, you're in a race. You got the pendant, you're about to open the future. You know all these, you should be thinking all these thoughts that we were kind of going through.
Mm-hmm.
How many chests do you go and open?
Well, I think that you open the ones that are right there at least.
Yep.
Like Banger Dome and Tran Dome, I don't think there's any reason not to, because you can use the Enertron in the second dome. You can get your HP back up because you don't get a free heal after the boss or anything. You may as well get all those.
Yeah.
Ars Dome, you may as well get them if you're going back there, but and especially, again, it depends on how well you're geared. I feel like watching this seed, the gear's been kind of middling so far. I want like high power treasure right now if I'm playing this.
Yeah. You're feeling probably pretty good, maybe tech wise or whatever, but yeah, if you're not feeling good armor wise, it's always a good.
Yeah, like nobody needs to be freaking out or anything, but I wouldn't mind something better.
When I was first kind of like learning about the rando and playing it the first couple times, like describing it to some other people, I was like, the thing I always think about, and maybe this isn't necessarily the right like thought process, but the way I always thought about it was like, I always valued AoE healing really strongly, and I always thought about Robo and Frog or having lapises around, but it's always it's a combo of things. It's like the goal is always beat the game. In order to beat the game, you have to damage output and also survive. And that's all just based around, are you high enough level, combined with do you have good enough armor, combined with do you have good enough techs or weapons to win. And it's all just based around how do you win. And you got to figure out that mathematical equation in your head,
Exactly.
If you don't have good armor, you're just gonna die, So like it's got to be in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have good armor, you got to heal well, and it's
Yep, those elemental males. I've seen a couple black and blues pop up at this point in the seed. Here's Nate going to Sun Palace. Chat calling that might be the play. Here's the other lava spawn. So this shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah.
But just depending on what you'd like. The elemental males will like just get you through, but you probably want better, especially against Lavos. If you've got the right ones, you can make it work against Queen Zeal, because she uses a lot of elemental attacks, and she might heal you.
Yes, she's very specific to those elements, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anything but red.
The thing I like about checking Son of Sunspot right away, that I like a lot, is that you can save and then no bot of it right away. Mm-hmm. Especially if you got here early and you got penalty in a seed, you can check it right away. And if it's like, oh, it's Mud Imp, like you just do it. But if it's like you got here early and it's Delta, and it's like, oh, like maybe I save that knowledge for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's dropping a ruby armor and a zodiac cape. So Nate definitely doesn't have any issues with armor anymore, especially since I think he has another ruby armor. He's good. There's the clone.
Oh, okay.
All right. And now we're at that. Every runner loves to be at that. Oh, good. 2 out of 3 on all 3. We love being in this position. All right. But that does mean that the next go mode item will do it. It also does mean that the sword piece might mean some advanced decisions are getting made. But as we do more checks, Magus's castle does become less and less viable.
Right. And like Beauty went and is doing this check a little quicker because it didn't open as many chests. I think. But the same path.
Yeah, Beauty doesn't have that Tabin suit. He's not going to have the speed, but he's going to get the Zodiac cape off of this thing, which will give her, Luca, a lot of magic defense.
I'm loving this. This is such a fun way to view what's happening.
Yep, and this really does a good job of illustrating when you're powering up quickly just how fast you can do all of these checks, because each of these runners is going to end up having done most of the seed, and I mean we're probably not that long out from go mode at this point.
No, yeah. But I would think if it was me, and maybe I'm in the minority, but I'm thinking this is not that uncommon, is both runners are thinking, oh gosh, I've got to be behind. It took me so long to get to Pendant. The other person must have been here first, and they were at the exact same pace. But
when there's only one way forward, you always think that, oh, somebody else didn't do all the extra stuff. Yep. Great, but nope, they both did everything, so...
Which would make me think that both of their mentalities is probably just go as fast as possible, you know?
It's all you can do, yeah. You know, maybe hope for that Black Omen go mode. You've got the spread fire damage, especially Nate, like with a pretty fast party overall, and wouldn't need to level up almost at all. Would just kill it. Black Omen can be done very quickly, depending on circumstances and skips and levels and things. Yeah.
Yeah, me and just making a comment that's true. Pendant could have, in theory, been someone's first check after the snail shop, because the snail shop was the gate key. Like, it could have.
You don't know.
Mega Elixir, Speed Tab, Gloom Cape.
Gloom Cape. That is a lovely haul back
that was
there.
A great run.
Noting, Nate is about to press this button back here. We're going to see the quote-unquote bike racing champions, Zelfer, I'm All In, and Corinth. That's actually the top 3 from our last tournament, and they and we and all of us are fighting right now to get our names in the back of there.
Yeah!
But yeah, shout-outs to the top 3 from the Cadillac Cup. That was an incredibly competitive tournament.
We got some words being fired in the chat here. And
Aka's making threats, yeah.
I didn't know about this either. There's names on the racers in the fair as well. Is that?
Yes, the top 4 are the racers at the fair.
There we go. All right, let's see what this
is. There's the Dreamstone. That is probably best case scenario right now, or the Chrono Trigger, or the Trigger. But yeah, one of them.
Would almost assuredly assume they're both gonna go Tyranno Gold here. So still real close.
It's looking like it. This is gonna be. This could be super fast from now on. Actually, Tyranno Gomo can be very quick and. There's not a lot of extra level grinding, I think, that's going to need to happen.
But a couple of extra checks here. Nate's looting a couple extra chests. Might be something real quick. A green dream, perhaps.
Might be helpful.
Be helpful.
There's the one up here in the sewer.
One in the sewer. Okay. The mail. What else? Let's see. It's going to 1,000. Or 600? 600, yeah. What else do we do before we initiate our go mode?
Well, it depends on how comfortable we are. I think that,
Chests.
you know, you gotta make sure you have what you need. Hey, another gloom helm. Slasher 2.
That one
Well,
doesn't give speed, right?
It doesn't, but it's a lot more powerful. Not that Nate is using Chronos, so he probably doesn't need it.
He needs to check the rock. Check the rock. Check the rock.
Nate, we're just psychically willing
Please.
you to check that rock before you gotta go back to the prehistory. Get the rock. Maybe it's blue.
It might be blue.
We don't know.
No, I don't. I can't remember. I haven't been checking thoroughly enough what current equipment that they have on all their accessories. So you'd have to be like, if you've got like Robo's ribbon is one, so you're probably not going to check that out, right?
Yeah.
So that just leaves the other two. What would you even do?
And enough shelters. Yeah. Okay.
That can be one of the hard things about rocks is like, well, if you've got like your hero medal or your robo ribbon, and then you've got like a stud or a specs or a sunshades of some kind or an amulet that you need, it's like, where do you fit in the rock? You know?
Yeah, you do have to give up somebody's. Here we go. Hype. Okay.
Hype,
Yes, you do have to give up somebody's accessory slot to equip the rock, and when we don't have Gear Rando on, the rock will not do anything exciting.
Everyone hold their breath. Let's go.
It's the blue rock. I am pretty sure we have got all the text for this because it's I mean, yeah, he just looked and sees that dark matter is last, but I believe Omega Flare is Flare, Dark Bomb, and Laser Spin. Chat can correct me if I'm wrong, because I think dark matter goes into Magus's other rock, Triple Tech, the one with Marl. Yeah.
So Nate went and did a little more checking. Beauty went in real quick right away, and now we're back to almost being on pace again.
Let's see how this goes. This is fantastic. This is like much C speedrunning right here.
I feel like Nate's definitely a little ahead in terms of equipment and stuff, but like there's execution that's got to happen here. Bosses, we got random bosses are still gonna happen. There's that double golem spot. We don't know what that's gonna be, or even the regular golem spot. So there's still a lot of race left here. This is so fun.
Yep. Yep, this could happen quick. We could be done in like half an hour, or something terrible could happen. Not that I'm wishing that on the runners. I'm just saying it's so exciting. We don't know what'll happen.
A gate opened somewhere.
I mean, I may as well wish terrible things on the runners. All the other commentators do it, right? But I rolled the seed, so I've done enough.
I commentate for hoping for exciting runs, and this has already been exciting. So
Yeah, this is a great one.
like, it doesn't have to be more exciting, but I'm not gonna be mad if we get some crazy things.
Yep. And as we mentioned, I think we mentioned this much earlier, but this is a double elimination tournament. This is only round 2, so neither of these runners is out if they lose.
Yeah, and then the next round will all be next week. Will be that bottom like bracket, and that will be people who will be fine. Well, like we started, we've been playing for 2 weeks now, and everyone's been playing for the last 2 weeks, and it'll be starting next week. We'll be getting some dropouts.
We'll eliminate a few, but it's going to be super competitive. He's doing the thing!
You're doing the
Here
thing!
we go!
Woo! That's fun.
That is very fun.
Everyone's happy. No one's mad. Now, I've been too focused on so many things. I still haven't noticed what equipment they all have for accessories specifically. I don't know if anyone saw. Let us know.
I haven't seen him pick up that anything special, I think.
We know Robo Ribbon's on one, and maybe
Yeah.
Megas still has the amulet, but he also got his Gloom hat, or Gloom... What's it?
Yeah, the Gloom Helm. It does protect
yeah.
his status, so he'll be okay there. Yeah, Nate through Giga Mutant coming up here.
That damage output from Omega Flare showing how much faster that fight was. Like, not like a drastic amount, but
Mm-hmm.
it was faster.
Yeah, Beauty hitting a battle there. That room is a pain.
This is a hard room. And then the one before where you gotta time your button press to go through the door without it triggering, like, this is... Tyrannarailer can be quick, but you gotta get all the skips, you know?
Absolutely. It slows down quite a bit. So, you know, we've had debates on some of these runs, you know, well, is Tyranno faster than Magus' Castle? Well, when both are done ideally, Tyranno is absolutely always faster than Magus' Castle, but if Magus' Castle is what you're better at personally, then maybe that's
Right.
your play, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
that's it's not like the most optimal play, but like nobody can always make the most optimal play. Like we all make suboptimal decisions all the time.
Speaking, I think Beauty might have just accidentally done something they weren't meaning to on purpose there. I think they fell down.
Yeah.
Which is not huge. You can run away from a fight. If you do the next room, you're good. You're good to go.
Yeah, you can get right back up there.
Those buttons, I have learned, have massive hitboxes. Like, the hitboxes are way bigger than the circle.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
I have gotten
you can use the Tyrannosaurus jaws. If you go up in there, that's like a pathway that's only 1 unit wide. So if you line yourself up in there, you're straight in the center, and then you won't run into either of the buttons on the side.
So yeah, that's very good knowledge to have. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Or off into the pit if you opened it. So yeah, that helps too.
And like just learning, like it took me forever to learn the differences in the button presses between Tyranno and Giant's Claw. These ones are left, these ones are right. Like,
it's just like the buttons. Well, the one button that you actually have to press, I think. But my silly mnemonic is claw has an L on the left side of the word, and lair has an R on the right side of the word. So claw's the left button, and Tyranno's the right button. Yeah.
I hope that helps anyone. But like, it's like anytime you're able to come up with something that helps, it's worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is or how silly it is. Like, that makes sense.
Sometimes I forget where I'm at and I have to check what color the fire is because I'm just like out of it. But like, which way was I going again? Oh yeah, okay. Because sometimes you're just thinking about other things.
And Nate just zooming through that fight.
Yeah, that Omega Flare, you know, so we have rumors, and it's true that you can get Omega Flare up to like, you know, 8K if you have the right accessories. But even down here, just short of 3K, that is nothing to sneeze at.
Big number. Big number, go Burr.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going into this other check.
Yeah, Nate is hitting Inhasa. Most people don't come to Inhasa. Oh, yeah, but we're going to see Alphador here.
Alphador Derby.
Mascot. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Getting that little heal. Oh, I'm getting this little robo.
This little glitch from the cutscene. I'm gonna do the new fight. Beauty is hitting Azala with those Fire Sword 2s. Not bad damage, though the physical part of the Fire Sword 2 won't do much to her. She has very high magic or physical defense. You gotta hit her with magic. Yeah, this Omega Flare should cook these news good.
Yeah, huh. This is the max cat run. I love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, cat %.
Yeah, so we get a magic tab and a speed tab. Do like that.
Beautiful. We like that speed.
That feels worth going out of the way, quote unquote, to get that speed tab there.
Yeah, if you're running this party, I can
And you were
definitely
saying,
see it.
is there another shop in that building?
There is a shop. It's just a standard shop.
Standard.
So there's probably nothing like that special in it. But I mean, sometimes if you can't find ethers, you gotta look there. And if you're playing the Lost World category, for example, I don't know if you've tried it, but that's the one where you begin with the other time periods instead, prehistory and Dark Ages and future. Good to know it's there in that category, very much.
I've played all the other like categories, I think like once a piece, just to try them out. And I've been super focused on just like this kind of standard race, setting since the tournament got announced. But as soon as the tournament's done, like I'm definitely gonna go and do some Legacy of Cyrus runs and some Ice Age runs just to kind of like get those under my belt.
Yeah, for sure.
They're super fun. Honestly, Chrono Sanity too. I thought that was going to be a pain and be super long, but the first time I did it, it was real fun. I thought it was great. Okay, doing some selling, doing some buy-in. Definitely good ethers and elixirs here.
Yeah. Getting some money. Okay. Still moving. Yeah, okay.
The dash ring plus 3 speed. Thinking about.
I'm gonna max our speed. Excuse me.
Another hyper ether. Onyx. Okay. I think Nate's satisfied with their output now.
Yeah, got good gear. I'm not sure if he went up to get that last speed tab that's up in Kajar, but there is another one there too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Might have just been, the moment, because I assume Nate knows it's there. It's just sometime. Maybe we
I'm sure he does. Yeah. No, and it's possible he got it first too. But yeah, I'm sure that with Robo Ribbon and that Tabin suit, like his speed floor is up quite a bit from minimum. He doesn't have to worry that much about that.
Okay, I saw the rock was on Magus for sure. I couldn't quite see what was on Luca for her accessory.
Yeah.
I think he bought a stud, but there's a silver stud there in that shop.
There was a silver stud, so possibly for those flares, that would be good.
I will say gold stud is, I think, my personal favorite accessory.
It's pretty useful.
I just love not having to worry about MP. And we're gonna punch Slash in the face.
Yeah, Nate is pivoting because this is regular Slash who has higher than average magic defense, so he's gonna go with some physical attacks this time. Slash moves around a lot. If he comes near Magus, Dark Hole will work, but he has to go over there, so, we'll see.
Yeah, I can't remember the stats exactly, because I know, like, obviously Slash has had good magical, but is it that he resists the magical elements, or is that he has high magic defense, or is it both?
So he has high magic defense, and he fully resists water. Water will do 0.
Water for sure. And the others are like 66%, or am I thinking of someone else?
It might be about that, yeah. I forget what the actual number is, but that might be about right.
Beauty did get that speed tab there.
Yeah. Coming through.
Okay, just the Ocean Palace left for Nate here into the final dungeon of this particular season.
Here we go.
Beauty not that far behind.
No, like one boss behind. It's not much.
Still very close. Guessing they're probably, at least Nate probably won't do any grinding here in the Ocean Palace.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll see. I
I
don't remember exactly what level he is, but he's probably doing pretty good.
Beauty's at 25, so probably, potentially, I would guess 25 feels low.
Yeah, at 25, you probably want to grind at least a teeny bit.
And it's such a good easy speed.
Yeah. Excuse me.
One thing that's interesting here
It's
about
certainly higher, yeah.
this is what we were talking about back at the very beginning of this seed, is Beauty doesn't have any of the classic elevator tools like Frog Squash or Dino Tail or even Black Hole. Right?
He does have a tool. He doesn't have those, but he has Max Cyclone actually, which he just used.
Yeah.
So he's got to remember to have Robo in the right position, which I think is just first, so that he'll be in the middle, because he's got to pick up Chrono and spin him in a circle. So I think that's the way. But
will Max Cyclone hit 6 flying dudes if he's in the middle?
I think so. It'll at least hit 3 if it won't. But it's been so long since I got to use it.
Me too. That's what I'm wondering, is like, does it hit all 6? Or does it hit like 3 or something?
Hearing in chat that it should do about 4 of them.
Okay, that's great. That's huge.
Yeah, that's what Black Hole will do, so there you go.
Yep.
Unless they move, but then if you want them to move, you're playing, you're letting them have ATB time, and you're playing with fire a little bit. So, but it is an option for those who want to.
Yep, can work. Okay, Slash taken down. Nate is doing getting some levels here.
And yeah, anything that gets 4 of them is good in my book, because almost always you can get the remaining 2 with your other 2 characters. Whether you need a physical attack or an elemental one, you could usually figure it out. Nate is moving on.
So I'm guessing Nate will probably do Black Hole strats then.
I would assume that's what his elevator's going to look like, yeah.
Hold on. Does Shadow also get absorbed by those flying dudes as well?
See, Black Hole isn't Shadow, it's non-elemental.
I was thinking Omega Flare. Is Omega Flare Shadow, right?
Omega Flare is Shadow, so we won't want to use Omega Flare on that fight.
That's why Black Hole's good, because it's not elemental.
Yes.
Yep. Love that.
And Nate was at level 30 earlier, which is plenty. He's going to gain even more as he comes down here.
Elixirs being dropped down here down the staircase, which is cool.
That's always good. Now, you don't really have to worry much about healing. You got Robo, which is good because he has a full party heal, but elixirs are still nice.
Elixirs, Hyper Ethers, doing it all.
Yep. And this is one of the things about saving Fritz. Depending on the category you're playing, here we're on normal item difficulty, for example. The treasure's about what you'd expect it to be. Do you expect to get enough healing items for your final battle, your HP and your MP? Often you do, but sometimes. But you gotta know when you're not gonna, and that's kind of the trick, yeah. Or if it's one of those seeds where you have nothing up front, then it can be very helpful because you can get them early. But yeah, given that the seed is clearly full of the bounty in the way of MP recovery, it was not necessarily something you needed to do in this seed. I totally would have done it though, So, I'm not criticizing.
Yeah. I like Nate's confidence too. Nate did not stop to save before this elevator. It's like, I got it.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but you can do it. I didn't save once, and then I blew myself up, so...
if you just never save, you're fine if you just don't lose.
It's true.
Just never save. That would be I would never do that. I would give myself a panic attack.
And I don't just mean this elevator in particular. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine?
I can't imagine, unfortunately. That's why I always save.
As a lover of JRPGs since being a wee lad, I'm definitely a save-aholic. Just in video games in general. Multiple save files, save all the time. And contrary to my namesake a little bit, I really do not like early Resident Evil games where you're limited on saves and typewriters. I hate that mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
I love saving too much.
Nice. Nate Uzi punching one of the first ones, and then napalming the other.
Okay, and then having many
this is really good because he knows. Yeah, he knows which ones to hit.
Great. There they go.
Yep. Bye-bye.
And then we got another tricky skip coming up here with these little 3 Cycloppers on the left and right sides here.
Yes,
I still did not have this down super well.
Yes, the scout skip that is coming up here is a really quick little skip that can avoid a battle for you. You can still run away if you hit it, but we'll see. Nate is you can normally sneak back without disturbing them, but what's difficult about this skip is there's a lot of different little things happening in a very short period of time.
Yes.
And once you've got it, you've kind of got it, but like it is really hard to figure out. Yeah, it is really unintuitive. Now, Nate did that one perfectly. Now, so the first part is pretty easy because you know how in Chrono Trigger sometimes if you run into a wall or a surface you won't just stop, you'll kind of slide. What you gotta do is line yourself up like sort of halfway. You want the edge of that little bridge like aligned with the center of your character. And what you should do is glance off of the wall to your left in that case and slide behind the scout. That's the easy part because you just have to line yourself up. There's Luminaire for Beauty too, so now he does have Super Volt to do damage with if he chooses. That can be a good one. It's upgraded in Jet, so it uses Luminaire instead of Lightning too. Yeah, here we go.
Super Volt. And a little bit, I'm not going to call it a joke, but a not super scary double golem boss fight here with the Yakras.
Yes, the twin Yakras. The scariest thing is that whatever is here will still hit you kind of hard. Now,
Sure.
I'm saying that, but Nate is very high level and has really, really good armor. So it doesn't look that bad. But actually, if you're coming here like lower level, he will still punch you pretty hard. But, he doesn't have any like really awful counterattacks. He doesn't have any like death counters. It's not the worst for sure.
When you're doing 4,200 damage, you beat almost anything in 2 hits.
Indeed. And yeah, those Omega Flares earlier were doing, almost 3, and now with these extra levels and stuff. This is probably going to be a quick Lavos.
Now we're doing this thing here. Beauty is in this spot.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, probably the most notorious, whatever you want to call it. Give me the right adjective there.
Notorious is probably right because these guys and Beauty, unfortunately, just almost certainly by accident used fire on the lightning one, and got to eat that Delta's Force or Storm, whichever one it is, as a side effect. But you can see you can get this fight down if you need to, but it's very nice if you can get a lot of them at once. So we'll definitely make sure to tell Beauty about Max Cyclone. Falcon Hit's another one, that'll do it.
Yes, Falcon Hit's great. Yeah, I definitely was thinking Falcon Hit before I was thinking of Max Cyclone, but definitely good to remember those big AoE physicals can do the trick.
I'm just excited to watch Nate just wipe Lavos here with this Omega Flare. It's gonna be fun. I don't anticipate a lot of trouble here, but
Yeah.
fun too, just because it's Lavos. Because like you couldn't do Omega Flare strats against Zeal, you know. So it's just kind of cool to see it here.
Well, you can do them at least against her first form and against
That's
Mammon
true.
Machine.
That's true.
You can get Mammon Machine down before it hits you. That's nice.
Which is big.
So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so here we got Nate doing these Omega Flares, and yeah, he's not gonna need too many. This particular Lavos has a rotation of 3 attacks it does. So the next one is going to be Obstacle, which is the least damage. It can stick a status effect, but we'll see if it does, because that can miss and he has some protection. Looks like it's slow. That's good news because he only needs 1 more of these.
Nope. Do you know, Batsy, how, like, I know, like, the Lavos obstacle and the spawns and all that kind of determine what the status effect is, but sometimes obstacle just, like, doesn't give you the status effect. Is there a rhyme or reason to that?
It can miss. It just doesn't have 100% hit rate. Yeah.
It's just a percentage that sometimes it has. Okay.
So you can assess the risk as you choose as a player.
I wasn't sure if there was something more specific to it than that. Final.
Okay, so Luca going with the silver stud now. Switch from an amulet on the first one. Now that we know that it's slow, you know, it's nothing that like horrible like that.
I've definitely gambled that before, having a wonder shot on Luca and then having her get confused and killed my people.
Yep.
With a wonder
Marl
shot.
with like a Valkyrie. The ones, you know how she has the bows with like status effects. Those are fun ones. All right, here we go. So Lavos is going to open as he always does with the Doors of Doom. Very Toriyama-esque. Yeah, that attack hurts, and you always get hit. But Nate is going to go ahead with this Omega Flare because knowing that it's doing over 4k, he knows it's going to kill that left arm. And luckily, he did get it off in time. What you want to do is if you kill the one arm fast enough, the AI on the other arm resets, and it won't do the blade attack next, the one that hurts awful. But it is possible to kind of like get your attack off after the arms have set their attack, so you can kill the one and you'll still eat a blade. But luckily he didn't need to do that, so. Alright, Beauty is fighting these twin Yakras. Here comes Obstacle from Lavos 2.
Yeah, one of the Yakras is dead, not the other one. Doing Fire Sword 2 a lot, which is working. Getting a heal off there.
For sure.
Have they seen any Mega Elixirs this run? Did I miss them?
I think that there have been a couple from bosses. So I think there's at least one that everybody has, maybe more though.
Yeah.
Alright. Beauty is through the twin boss. Okay. Nate's Luca took slow, but nobody is poisoned, so that's good.
Yeah, do you fix the slow, or are you just like, I'm close enough?
Well, I would say it depends, but in this case, I think you fix the slow. The way slow works is it'll stick to you, and it doesn't affect your current round of ATB. You have to input your turn on that character, and then it starts to count.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Like reverse haste type of thing.
Yeah, haste works the same way, just, you know, you'll speed up on the next cycle instead. There you go, Nate.
Right.
But, that is exactly why I think you don't want that slow right now. But it depends, you know, if that character isn't part of your main damage, then you could leave it, possibly.
Now this always, for me, brings up interesting ideas too, especially with the Omega Flare of how hard do you go on, like, using physical to get rid of that left bit, or just, you know, every time it comes back, do you immediately try to kill it, or do you just go for the right as fast as possible because you've got high damage output?
Sure. Yeah, that's always the question. Nate probably going for the menu glitch here. Yeah, we see him mashing that button. But we got it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to know he's got the input display on his stream there. Yeah.
Yes. You can take advantage of a stray free frame while Lavos is fading in and out to open your menu and heal. It is often pretty critical.
There we go. Final boss.
There we go. Omega Flare.
Doing it right away.
Yeah, this center bit has low magic defense, possibly just low defense, so it's gonna do even more.
Will be two-shot center guy? Probably, right?
It will.
Yeah,
if he uses Omega Flare, somebody will take an X-Strike, but for example, Robo will absolutely live that X-Strike if he has to.
Right.
Okay. Beauty is on. Lavos 1 over here. Got 2 characters slowed and took that energy release attack. But managed to heal after that, which is good. That's the highest damage. Yeah. Okay. So this is gonna hit somebody.
Okay.
He's got enough HP to make it, yeah.
Both Megas and Lugar up, that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Fire tackle and a lapis. There we go. Okay.
Right,
not fire tackle. Double bomb. Yeah.
Double. Yeah.
3,000. Nothing to sneeze at either. That's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And definitely intentional. I think wanting Robo to be on that right side of the screen there.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Okay.
You have a choice with this party too, because Magus over there lets you hit the center and right bit with Black Hole without hitting the left. But I don't think the double bomb is a bad move, just there's options.
Still in a good position, just Mega Flaring again. Yep, I think this is definitely the right call. Oh, I hope Beauty gets this off. Yes! Beauty did it again, down to one character.
Hanging on. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. If you're at 1 HP,
experience, it's fine.
Just win. Yep.
You don't need to worry about that.
Claps again.
Right.
That was great.
Okay, Beauty through Lavos 1. Nate with some progress on Lavos 3. I haven't been counting them because I've been looking back and forth between the players. Alright, center bit is down again. Magus is gonna go down, but I'm sure that can be handled. Or not. We could just double bomb.
I think we're getting close here. 2 more hits?
Possibly, yeah.
Oh, power.
And just wait a minute and it'll go back off.
Yeah, do you heal or do you just wait the timeout?
Right, well she doesn't have MP, so I suppose that was the thing to do. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's good call. You're right.
Robo might need some too. No, he's good for double bomb. Okay.
This does it.
This could do it. Yeah, Beauty is coming into Lavos 2 here.
Here we go.
And that is GG. That is a good game for Nate at let me check the race room. We've got an official time of 1:45:46.
Great.
That was a beautifully done Lavos run.
Mega's just taking a nap. Okay. Now this is going to be a different fight, you know? Beauty's got a very different setup here, even though there's only one character difference, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And, this isn't a bad party at all, but it doesn't have that full screen damage the way the other one does.
Ooh, double boomerang there on Robo.
Yeah, that's not fun. This will probably take out the arm here.
Which is big. Once one arm's gone, you feel a lot safer. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And did notice you used one of the mega elixirs there.
Yep.
So
this is the last of it, so this is it, right? Okay, let's see. I think I can just drag Nate up here, and I think we've got Nate in. Welcome, GG.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, what's up?
Great job.
Great.
Yeah. So talk to us. Talk to us about how this seed made you feel.
Very anxious. Extremely. I felt behind when I went up Mount Woe, and Pendant was in Reptite Lair.
Well, you and Judy were at the same spot at the exact same time.
Yeah, as it happened, that happened to the both of you. At almost the same rate. You split for a bit, but then came together again at the like Woe Reptite bottleneck. It has been very close, but you bagged the Tabin suit off the Jerky, and you've got Omega Flare, and so right at the end is when you just took off and couldn't be caught, I think.
Yeah, that.
Fantastic.
Thanks. I wasn't really expecting Blue Rock today, but it's always nice to show it off.
Everyone was excited about it.
Yeah, we were rooting for it like the whole time. So people were like, "When are they gonna go to Laruba Ruins, man?" Like, so you were everybody's hero. Trust me.
Now, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if it was in the ruins or if it was up in Hassa. I just kind of gambled on that.
Well, it doesn't take too long to check. You may as well.
Yeah, this definitely did feel like that kind of seed with our first, I think it was, our first 3.
Yeah.
It was really cool just to see the two of you diverge a little bit in the beginning and then come back together like in the middle. The middle was like identical for a while, which was awesome. And I think 2 big things, was the Blue Rock and the fan suit.
For sure.
Yeah, the one time I'm not really too upset about fighting Jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was...
Alright.
Yeah, that was a stressful seed.
Sure. Alright, Beauty is through Lavos too. He did have to eat the Shadow Doomblaze, but he ate and he kept it down. Everybody's up.
This is going to be a really, I don't want to say pivotal, but it's going to be a really important menu glitch here to get because it's pretty low on HP and everything.
Yeah, having taken that attack, you definitely want to heal. Anything that Lavos 3 will do will knock down those characters. But yeah, GG again to Nate. You're going to move on in the tournament. That means it's you and me in a couple weeks. Yeah. So I hope you're as terrified as I am.
I'm extremely terrified, so...
Well, we will see. So, yep.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be something. And then that's going to be 2 weeks from now, so that's not scheduled. But it will be a top 8 match. And then meanwhile, Beauty will go on to face Leon in the lower bracket.
Right.
So this will be really exciting.
Ooh.
Commentators versus players.
Yep.
Go figure.
Wow, I love it. Yeah. Anything else, Nate, that you found particularly like exciting or frustrating or anywhere in between from this seed? We were talking about how we thought you might feel behind, but that both of you probably, because both of you ended up doing the same bottleneck route to get Pendant. But yeah, anything else?
Yeah, I was super excited about Blue Rock, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get a lot of sleep, so I'm just kind of like, but yeah, this was definitely, this was a stressful one considering Pendant was in Reptite. I think that was the most, that was the most, like, I got go as soon as I got to Future, and honestly, I was hoping Prism Shard wasn't behind, like, Sun Palace or Air's Dome. And then I have to search for Marl and then do the Moonstone quest, and just not in the mood for that today.
We were all talking about it, we were all thinking it, but no, we knew one of those go was going to be there in the future in one of those tracks, so...
Yep, for sure. No, it would have been interesting had it been the sword, because then a decision point would have been at hand. But No, I think the Dreamstone was a good find.
I was so happy about that. Yeah, that.
And Beauty going back over here looking is taking down the right bit here, punching it and slashing at it with fire. A little bit's coming back.
Going with Fire Sword too for the main damage.
Yeah, and you definitely had that strat of just Omega Flare it. Don't worry about that left bit, just go for it. Which I think was probably the right call. Taking care of that center bit in 2 hits feels real good.
Just ignore the X strike.
Honestly, I didn't know how much damage he was gonna do, and I saw 5.3 or something like that, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just two of them will be done, and then yeah, that's awesome. I like the lasers.
For sure. Yeah, Omega Flare is a good time for anybody. Okay.
And there weren't unless I'm remembering wrong, I think a big part too was you grinded a bit at the beginning and Reptite later, which seemed to help a lot because you had very, very little trouble with all of the bosses throughout the rest of the seed. There weren't any crazy. It didn't seem like there were any crazy bad bosses.
Oh no, especially having, with Fire Tackle early, I was so happy. And like you were saying, the grinding definitely helped a lot, just to speed through all the dungeons.
A little grind can go a long way.
Yeah, it's true. A little bit really can help. I think we've seen that a little bit here with the power differential. Which is certainly Beauty is doing fantastically and is on track to get a sub 2 on this one, which is always excellent. There goes middle bit again.
Yeah, and then it's this balancing it up. Do we heal? Do we just go for damage? It's hard when you're feeling like you're not crazy damage output.
Yeah, Mag is going down at the end. Figured double bomb, which is kind of.
Yeah, that was great.
Out that. I was happy to use that one as well.
Yeah, that was great.
We were talking a lot about positioning in this particular seed with Robo, and then Magus a little bit too with Black Hole, because Beauty's over here with Fire Zone, which has come out a couple of times.
Sweet.
Yeah. Robo down to no MP. Firestar 2 going off again. We gotta be getting close. Yeah! There we are.
Alright. GG to Beauty and Discovery with a time of 1:55:05. That is fantastic.
GG.
Alright.
That was such a great run. Such a good race. GG to Beauty.
And I think Beauty will be down for an interview in just a sec.
Yeah.
I forget if, let's see. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
The end. Nate, the end. Chronoid, wake up.
Making sure. All right, but again, yeah, fantastic race. Oh, that was very exciting. A very close match.
Yeah, I think for a lot of reasons. I think hopefully people at home watching, this was just a really fun thing to go through with. Mega Flare was fun. The sync up in the middle was fun. The slight variation in team was fun. Beauty had a couple really close boss fights, where it was down to like one character left with like less than 50 HP and got a final hit off. It happened a couple of times, which was really cool.
For sure.
One was Lavos. I don't remember what the other one was. It was in Denadoro, maybe? Or Giant's Claw, maybe, in a cave? I can't remember which one it was.
Gosh, yeah, I'm trying to remember as well. Let's see, having a slight technical difficulty with getting Beauty in too, so I'm just looking into that real quick. But let's see.
Well, while we're waiting, I'm just gonna pull up here real quick. I know, for sure, we have a couple of the games for next week actually already set, I think. Wherever that, I had that tab up somewhere. Where did it go? Because it's that lower bracket seed there for losers round 1. Here we go. I think, okay, so if it's the first one so far that's on the schedule, it looks like Wednesday next week. Mayan and Phone are playing, kind of midday, and then we have the schedule on Saturday. Will be One Free Fritz and Schwantz Saturday afternoon at 2 Eastern time. So. And then we'll be scheduling these next 2 here after this.
Yeah, we will have a couple more matches next week, as well as several the week after that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Looks like Beauty might be in, but is muted still.
Yeah.
Hello. How's it going?
Ah, welcome.
Hey.
That was thank you. That was quite the seed. My heart broke. I forget what it was because it was all a flash, but my heart broke when I got that zonk on Woe because then I knew Pendant was in Reptite with an opening gate key, and I just shattered because I knew at that point I was like, I'm toast.
Well, actually, at that point, it was still anybody's game. This will be an interesting one to watch back. It was super close, and you both got bottlenecked at the same time. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
2 of you got there at the almost exact same time. It was real fun.
So if I didn't try and metagame and say, let me do Woe before Reptite, which is somewhat illogical, I might have pulled it off.
Well, you never know what's up there, and you get like beefy up there. There's reasons to go up there, so anything can be anywhere. It's just how it worked out this time. But yeah, you both went up there. Possibly the big difference was a couple of things, but Nate picked up what was on the jerky, which was a Tabin suit.
Yeah,
and
that was helpful.
And he ran Team Omega Flare, the starting 3, and did wind up with that blue rock. So he was doing quite a bit of damage at the end.
That would have been nice. I mean, when I pulled Chrono initially, I wasn't super thrilled, but then when I was able to turn around and start using Fire Sword, that was super nice. And I figured, like, okay, maybe I got lucky. Maybe they didn't pick up the Chrono. But it sounds like it was the other way around. I got a little unlucky.
Yes. But no, it was quite close. Nate really just pulled ahead a little bit at the very end. You'll definitely have to give it a look.
Definitely. I'm more than happy to have been in the Lavos fight when seeing the dot done from such a phenomenal racer as Nate. So, as much as I definitely wanted to win, very proud of myself that I was able to turn this around, considering the level of experience difference between the 2 of us.
Yeah, no, you did a great job. Fantastic run. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
a couple times. It was fun.
Yeah, I was just as stressed out as you were, Beauty. So I feel you there. going up Mount Woe and not finding what we were looking for.
Definitely. I think, pulling the frog from Dactyl Nest, there was a little part of me that was like, I was really open for Sword because in my head I was like, okay, maybe once again there's a meta play that Nate didn't check Dactyl Nest, and that gives me a go mode that they won't have as they're digging around. And so, that was the other thing that was just a bummer, is I kept like really holding out for that Sword that never showed itself.
We did talk about that, actually. We talked about how it would be a good time for the Sword to show up, because if it did, then, there's still, like, 3 extra checks on the other side of it, so that's a good time to go to Magus's castle, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, rando's always gonna rando, right?
For sure.
I think the only thing I was disappointed in was my Tyranno layer. I haven't had a ton of practice in it. Definitely rusty, and I'm a little embarrassed on my execution in there.
It's a really hard dungeon. Those buttons are weirdly shaped, and the hitbox enemy fights weird.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Everybody slips up in there from time to time for sure. So
yeah, definitely.
That was a very strong showing, and of course this is double elimination. So you are not out. You're gonna go against Leon next week. So that should be pretty exciting.
Oh, that'll be great. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, fun that my commentary is my opponent next week. Looking forward to it.
Yep. It worked out both ways, because Nate and I will be going against each other. So. Yep.
Winky dink.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good couple of weeks coming up. So definitely keep an eye on that.
Beauty, I want to bring up one other thing. I just got to ask, because I was having a blast watching you play. You had 2 different boss fights where you were down to a single character with like less than 100 HP. How did those feel? Were you confident or scared or somewhere in between?
Definitely scared. I had a really nasty wipe to Reptite layer, and I want to say it was a practice seed that was super frustrating. And so I was having a lot of deja vu there. But I was very committed. Like, I don't know my HP values. I'm not very good at counting quite yet. Haven't built up that experience. But I knew it was close. Like, I'm starting to get the feel of, like, the boss should be dying right about now. And so I knew it was super close. And I knew with the amount of damage that spawn was putting out, there was no way I was going to get anybody up. So it was just all gas, no brakes, and a little bit of sweat, too.
That's awesome. I, like, popped off. I was like, you got it.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I was definitely fist bumping after that.
Yeah, no, thank you both for an excellent race. This is a lot of fun for everyone.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having us, and thanks for the Speed Gaming community for hosting.
Yeah, thanks as always to Speed Gaming. Thanks to Akuhai, she was tracking for us, doing an excellent job as always. I think we mentioned when the next matches are. We've got one scheduled for the 17th, one scheduled for the 20th, but we got a couple more next week, so there will be a few more filling the calendar, so we'll see.
The 4 of us got to talk and figure it out.
All right. Does anyone have any other questions or comments?
Nothing from me. Just very much looking forward to next week.
Same here.
Then I think
we got all the good things in. Yeah, everyone will help organize, commentate, run. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Then we will say good night. Everybody have a great rest of your Saturday night, if it's still Saturday where you live. And we'll see you all next week. Yay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Peace out.
Thanks everyone.